Hello everybody, my name is Senkara and welcome back to another Doki Doki Literature Club Plus Side Stories. That's right, today we're doing another side story. We're going to be doing Trust Part 2. Also, how many OG fans remember this bad boy, huh? Leave a comment down below if you remember what's on this. It's a USB shaped like a key. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Now, before we begin, I just want to let you know that I do have a Satisfaction Saturday video prepared. It's just not finished editing yet. It's going to take a little longer to edit than I thought, so I thought I would give you guys a Doki Doki side story for today instead. But next week, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting satisfied. Don't you worry about that. Now, Trust Part 2. Here we go. Oh boy, I like how it's pink instead of white in this one. Same on the bottom one. Interesting. Anyway, Trust Part 2. Begin the side story. Yes, please. Finally, some fully brand new Doki Doki content. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. This is Monica, right? No, it's the narrator. Okay, interesting. What does the narrator sound like? Ah, yes. I will go with Yami Yugi's voice, for that is the narrator of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Or maybe I should go with the Dragon Ball Z regular narrator voice. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. Ah, that's right. So if you don't remember in the last side story, this was back before the club started. They just started the club. Sayori had a really sad poem in her bag. Monica read it and was like, damn, girl be depressed, am I right? I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori is going through all kinds of feelings and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around? And we also got a peek at how much Monica cares, or used to care, which is very interesting. What kind of club president does that? This whole time I didn't think to ask her about her own feelings. So much for my stupid vision. What kind of club president does that? You know, that attitude. I like that a lot, Monica. I like that a lot. I would probably really like Monica even before everything. You know what I mean? It's that attitude. She's ready to be satisfied, you know what I'm saying? Sayori enters the club room with her usual... Sayori enters the club room with her usual smile. But upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monica? Is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes it. Okay, I'll stop talking like that. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. I forgot to say, if you haven't checked out last week's episode where we played the part 1 of this story, then be sure to click the card above. Just thought I'd put that out there. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Now Sayori's gonna be sad that she made Monica sad. And you know what? I don't like that. Your friend should be sad for you. Okay? Let us be sad for you, Sayori. You know? I get it, but no, please. Don't push us away because you want us to be happy. It's really annoying. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Oh, that's right, it was in her folder and Monica read it afterwards. Right, I remember now. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Exactly! See? See, she gets it? Genuine! Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. That's right. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday, it was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy, so if you do this, then you're just being selfish. No! 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 Just no. That's all I can... What? Oh, settings. No. Monica massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It is quite the paradox, so you just gotta care about your friend, okay? Forget whatever the hell she says, just care about her, damn it, and be there for her. It's okay. It's okay. It's understandable that Sayuri isn't ready to share certain things, but as unfair as it is for Monika to pry, it's also painful for Monika to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. Okay, that part's true, and that's okay. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monika takes a deep breath. It's a long breath. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry, and I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monika pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way into your heart, or whatever. So, I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayuri smiles gently. Oh, there's not much I can say. I think it's best if we just enjoy the thoughts and feelings as it goes on. I just wanted to point that out, Normally I'm a more talkative, if you're new to the channel, I'm more talkative. I'm better at commentating, but I think we should all just appreciate these feelings. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monika returns Sayuri's smile. I promise. Me too. The conversation closes. The mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, wanna teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, There's no way I could say no to that, but don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. But you don't have to be a scholar to be good at writing. Jeez, that's fine. I think I just need, some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. You need something, big and bad to happen to you so that you can write down those feelings about it, right? Yeah, I see. When will we discover that big bad thing, Or rather, when will you discover? Starting isn't so hard. You just kind of need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. So, are we gonna get to see Monika's first poem before what happens? Because I'd be very interested in that. That would tell us a lot about how Monika is right now, what she's feeling and thinking, and I'm very interested to hear about that. You're going to have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can just start by writing your feelings and see what kind of things it makes you think of. I need to remember all this for when I attend the poetry club next week. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first and then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad where you go from one end to the other. It's more like a college where you find all the things you want to put in and then you arrange them in a pretty way. Oh, a collage, not a college. Right, that makes a lot more sense. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way. But it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget what's actually important. Monika pulls out a pen and paper and writes. Shut up. Stop being a perfectionist. That's right, you idiot. I'm just kidding. Oh dear. A perfectionist is me and screaming. Monika scribbles out, you idiot, after she writes it down. Nice. No, keep it. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Right. Okay. I'm listening. I'm taking it in. I'm preparing. Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just... well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monika rewrites you idiot. She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down that I'm mad at myself for, and then I did that exact thing anyway. I understand, Monika, it's okay. This is really gonna take some getting used to. It certainly does. I believe in you. Thanks, I do too. Oh, that's good. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Monica continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. Wholesome, I love it. Very satisfying, 10 out of 10. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it, but after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all her random thoughts. Phew! Monica looks down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. I feel that, yeah, I understand. But it's also kind of liberating. Yeah. Feels kind of cringe though, I'm not gonna lie. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. Oh, that's good. Me too, me too. I think you'll be good at writing poems. She is. She real is. She real is. For real. Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. Interesting that everyone who joins the literature club, it's a literature club, not a poetry club, and everyone who joins just happens to like poetry and be really good at it. I don't know. It's awfully coincidental, I feel. But I mean, that's kind of part of the game. They're meant to be game characters in this story. Fair enough. Alright, fine. With you. Oh, she'll enjoy doing it with her. Oh, wholesome. I kind of ruined the timing on that. Sorry about it. Sayori beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try work on a new flyer for the club. Flyer. Flyer is the word. I won't be so picky about the language. Yay, let's do it! Monica and Sayori proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Aw, that was good. Oh, is that it? No, there is more. Okay, cool. Another day passes. Yeah, I say that was a bit quick. I mean, I wouldn't mind a short video. That'd be great, but nay. How long's it gonna go for? Another 40 minutes? Who knows? As usual, Monica is the first one in the club room, with her printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. Ah, wholesome. I love it. If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. Oh yeah, they met Yuri, didn't they? Well, I assume it was Yuri. Did it say it was Yuri? Did we actually see her? I'm not sure. No, she went into the classroom and gave it to her and left. That's right. So much more attractive than the old one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Wholesome. I love it. I love it. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. Common sense might say that, but that's not the point. But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. That's right. Hopefully, Monica and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. It certainly garners my curiosity. You can consider my curiosity rather garnered, couldn't you? Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Oh, I understand, don't you worry. Monica thinks that this is me every time I make a satisfaction video, you know? That's probably why it takes so long, is because I'm just like this. I am just like this. Oh, I'm so sorry. Monica thinks that to the previous meeting, when she performed the writing exercise. But you know what? You guys telling me that you love my satisfaction videos and that you want more, like give me more, keep telling me that, okay? Because that's what gets me going. I want to inspire hope in you guys. That's the whole point, really, isn't it? That's the whole point. It gives me an opportunity to complete my goals and be satisfied as well. And you know, that's the thing, really, isn't it? So thank you. Yeah, keep up with those comments. Let me know that you want more Satisfaction Saturday, and you will get one next week. Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be president if I can't even demonstrate what a club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form. Maybe I should make a satisfaction club. That would be great. Would you guys join my satisfaction club? That'd be awesome. We'll call it Team Satisfaction. But with that, the weight on Monica's shoulders only becomes heavier. Debate Club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's what Monica was good at. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. Really am a lot like Monica, aren't I? I'm beginning to discover more and more. Monica and I are very similar. Maybe she is best girl all along. It's suffocating. Though she's a little too extroverted for my tastes. You know what I mean? Like, I meet a lot of people who are all sad on the inside, happy on the outside, but they're not really sad on the inside. They just think they're sad because everyone's sad, and you know, they got some hardships, but I met people who who have the same sort of face as Monica. And it's not quite the same. You know, I don't make that face. It's different. I need to break through this mental wall. Like, I understand what she's saying and what she's going through right now, because I too am a perfectionist, but I think that's where our similarities tie, and I'm also not very good at expressing myself as well. But it's not quite the same. Not to the same level, anyway. I need to learn to express myself. For real. For the genuine! Yes! Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of her pen firmly against the paper. What will she do? But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. That seems awfully familiar, doesn't it? Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. I see. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Out of spite for herself, Monica presses a pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. Monica writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Oh, that's deep. I like it. 10 out of 10. But the blotch of ink, you know? The ink blotch. She wrote a poem about that once, right? She let the ink just blot on her pen. The ink flows down into the dark puddle. What do you call love in your reality? No, that's a bit different. No, that's different. But she did write a poem about the ink blotch, right? Because she was sat there thinking, like she told us this, right? She sat there thinking and let the ink just build up on her paper, and then she wrote a poem about it. That was a thing, right? I'm gonna have to check. I don't know if we've seen that in the story yet, through this playthrough, but I do remember that. Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. Oh, Monica. The air conditioner seems louder today. Speaking of air conditioners, I got a heater installed while I was on holiday. It's pretty cool. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Sayuri approach her desk, then stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down on the adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard. On the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's just so hard to be vulnerable. Sayuri takes a sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down and stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. Trust. Trust part 2. I understand now. You can trust me with anything. Sayuri gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayuri's desk and reads it. The thing that I really like about this side story is that it's a lot deeper than Doki Doki, the main story, really ever got. Like, in terms of the characters themselves, the only depth we really get into the characters is with Monica, I feel. Like, you know, there is all that stuff with the others too, but it's not the same as this. This is quite different. This is very different. Understanding something, Monica reads the things. Oh, I wasn't prepared for that. What happened to Monica's words as well? Wasn't prepared for that. Sometimes I want to die. Sayuri. Oh shit. Yeah, I really wasn't prepared to read that, honestly. I don't know why. It was so straightforward for Sayuri as well. Oh no. Oh, my little heart can't handle it. This is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. See, Monica knows her better than the main character does. Just through this. She was saying in, well, it wouldn't be last episode for you guys. It'll be on Monday's episode, you'll see. Monica was saying how the main character surely knows Sayuri better than any of us, but no, that is not remotely the case. Certainly not after seeing this. Her voice shakes. So, if I can do it, then you can too. She wrote that to inspire Monica. It's part of what I like about Sayuri's character. But I love and hate it at the same time. She likes to inspire people, and she uses her pain to do that, and that is a very good thing. That is a very noble thing as well. But she doesn't let others help her is the thing, and that's what I don't like. Because you're like a million times better than me, and then there's this as well. I don't like that. That's completely not true. Sayuri takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. Oh, me too. That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is, like, screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday, I want to. Let her do it. Don't stop her, Monica. Don't you stop her. Let her do this. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. I have thoughts, I'm just not really sure how to say them yet, so I'll continue reading. Sayuri must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayuri needed? Interesting. That's so awesome. That is so genuine. Oh, that is satisfying, and I love it. Maybe the genuine really is the path to satisfaction. Again, I've been thinking about this lately. I might talk about it in the next satisfaction video. But this is really building on what I've been thinking lately, which is interesting. I love that. I really appreciate when games do that for me. Interesting. Sayuri's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. Like just being honest can inspire people to do the same. And I guess I've experienced that too, you know? People who are really honest with themselves and to other people can be really inspiring for me sometimes, who is really honest about myself. Which is very interesting. Perhaps it does work like this. I don't know though. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. Yeah, I've noticed. It's really annoying. Stop it. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So, I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts I have. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. It's not the genuine that we seek. That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask what's wrong. I know that, because it used to be like that. Sayuri pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. Hold on, let me reread that. What used to be like what now? It's just that if everyone knew it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Right. And when she's not smiling, everyone would worry and ask what's wrong. Well, that's good. You're lucky people ask what's wrong. It's so rare these days that anyone even cares to ask. Unless you're a girl. No, that's not true. It does. I don't know. But in my experience, that's how it's been. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayuri pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? Yes, please tell. How did you find the courage to speak of this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part of me, I think just felt like it would be different this time. I both understand and disagree with these feelings. She's worried about people treating her differently. Now, I do get that, but the thing I hate the most is people treating me like someone that I am not. You see what I'm saying? So, the people treating her like an entirely different person, I mean, it really depends on how they're treating her. Like, if I were to express feelings like this to someone, I wouldn't want them to later just treat me like I am the happiest person alive, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing I wouldn't enjoy, but she still wants that. And... oh shit. My teachers warned me this day would come. I was leaning on my chair and it almost fell backwards. It's a good thing I'm Senkara, or else that might have actually hurt me. But anyway, point is, it's very interesting to see these different expressions. And I feel like a lot of people have these same thoughts and feelings that Sayuri is having right now. And that intrigues me. Because for me, it's different, right? Like if I were being true to myself the way Sayuri is right now, or is true to someone else, you know, I would want people to treat me like I am that person that she is showing, because that would be who I am. It's interesting. I don't know. It's a different worldview, I guess. It's a different world. Like, I don't want people to be sad and worry about me all the time, you know. I like Sayuri, I want everyone to be happy, and that's great. That's 10 out of 10 time. But it's the genuine. It's that genuine relationship, you know. It's the genuine that is spoken of in Origairu. Again, if you haven't seen it, I've been talking about it like all week. Like, go watch it for goodness sake. Origairu. If you don't know how to spell it, ask me in the comments. But yeah, anyway, point is, it's interesting. She feels like it would be different this time. Like, as long as they have the understanding and do, like, listen and care, that's the thing. Like, treat her the same way that Monica does. You know, don't be all, you know, feel pity for, like, don't pity people. Ugh. So that's annoying. That I understand. That's probably what Sayuri is thinking as well. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Like, you gotta see the good and the bad, right? If she expresses this bad stuff in her, don't forget that all the good stuff as well. I mean, it's not a bad stuff, you know what I mean? Like, if she expresses her sadness, don't neglect what she does for people, and that is making people happy. Like, don't pity her and be like, oh, she always makes people happy, it's so sad. No, she is strong as hell for doing that. What she does makes people happy every day, smiles every day like she does. That's what you should recognize, because that is who she is. That is what I mean by treat them differently. Recognize both sides of the people. Yeah, there we go. That's genuine. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me. In a way, I keep interjecting, I'm sorry, but these are important things to say. In a way, today's video, these side stories, is very much like Satisfaction Saturday, and it falls in line with the goal that we're working on right now for Satisfaction, you know? The changing yourself, the being who you want to be, and being the real you. This all falls in line and is useful. It adds on to that goal, right? So, in a way, this is another Satisfaction Saturday. Just happens to be a Doki Doki game as well. Just thought I'd put that out there. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart. Me too, Monica, me too. A feeling of connection as Sayuri's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayuri. You're strong and brave. I don't even compare. Now we're talking. See, Monica knows exactly what is up. It's gotta be different, you know. You've seen the truth. So now put the pieces together. Don't separate the 2 sides of her. You gotta put them into one and realize this as the final conclusion. Brave and strong. Monica steps forward. But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy. If you'd like. Holy shit on a shitting fucking sandwich. Holy crap. What? Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. There we go. I found the thumbnail. I was hoping for some art for the thumbnail. Here we go. Oh my goodness. We have never seen anything like this in Doki Doki. Like, not official content, That is, and this music too. Oh shit! Oh, my face has goosebumps. My face has goosebumps. What? Can you see? Do you see the goosebumps? It's kind of hard, but they're a little bumpy. Oh my goodness. Oh shit! That artwork though. Look at Monica as well. That is the best she has been drawn. Like that is the best she has been drawn. Maybe because she's not facing straight on for once. This is good stuff. Holy shit! Doki Doki Plus. Yes. Yes. You win. This is worth the money. This is worth the money I paid for it. It's worth so much more just for this scene. Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayuri rests her forehead on Monika's shoulder. Through that contact, Monika can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming up inside Sayuri's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monika realizes that all of the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that no one new walks through the door. That is stunning, that is beautiful. Not just the art, like the emotion behind it and the whole story part of it. Like, that on its own, this is gorgeous. But if I just saw this as fan art, I'd be like, oh, that's really nice, that's so sweet. But with all the build up to it and the story and everything, this is satisfying. Also, that is nice bit of detail, like it. She speaks softly. With the eyes closed now. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything. I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayuri's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. Look at her eyes. That expression is spot on. I am a sucker for like 10 out of 10 spot on expressions. That is the one. That is so well drawn. Something about it's the lines in it that really make it work. The shape of her eye there. It's similar to the yandere eye, except with the tears, and that line there as well. And the lines under her eye are what really adds to it as well, making it sort of look tired, which is what adds to that, just the pain that she's feeling right now. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless and everyone will be better off without me. She suppresses a sob and tears fall down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. That is beautiful. That is stunning. I'm not good at anything, and it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayuri speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to an overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. It just gets better and better. As soon as Sayuri loses her composure, Monika becomes determined to keep her own. Again, Monika's expression is also spot on. That is the strength of someone holding their dear friend like that. I know that face because I've made that face. That's how I know it's spot on, and I really love that. So she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. That right there. That is the sentence. That is my entire philosophy. That is everything right there. Monika offers a few words of comfort. But she knows. Sayuri said it herself, that the thoughts Sayuri experiences are ones that don't belong. And Monika can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayuri battle them like any good friend would do. You have so much value. To me, and your other friends too, this club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. Your coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision. You brought us happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayuri doesn't respond, but Monika feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies, her sniffles fully cease. Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Woo, boy! Oh, what a wild ride this episode has been. This is satisfying. This is what it... Oh, so good, so good. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. No, you are. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Yes. Sayori nods. It's scary, since it's usually so hard to tell people. Yeah. Well, of course it will always be your choice, but if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. The hell? I don't know if you guys heard that noise, but I'm pretty sure that Gabriel just blew his horn. Boy, we're in trouble. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me tired. And hungry. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it. No, I want to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monica smiles. The vision. But I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. I was wondering when this would come in. I was wondering if it was going to be in this side story or the next one. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. So it does stop there. That was good. Oh, shit, that was good. Next time, understanding. I assume this is when Yuri is coming in, so they do follow each other. In a linear fashion, it seems, so good thing we did that. Damn, son! Just this. Scene from the side story Trust. Can I not look at the other forms of it? That's sad. That's kind of depresso. Anyway, that was good, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you love this as much as I did, then please leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and subscribe for more. Now, for those of you who have not played the main story of DDLC, who have not finished, you don't want spoilers, now's your time to bugger off, okay? Get out of here. I'm gonna be spoiling shit, so leave. But before you go, thank you for watching. Thank you so much. I love you and appreciate you. Now fuck off. Okay, cool. So, guys. Oh my goodness. Before we do anything else, I just want to see Monica's ink blotch poem. Do I have that? Hole in the wall, save me, the lady who knows everything. What is this? Wait, what is this? A poem from Sayori distributed at special events in the past. Acquire all of Sayori's other poems. There was once a ladybug. It was so small it took a really long time to crawl from here to there. It was very tiring to fly for too long. Nobody squishes ladybugs because they're cute. Doesn't that make them better than other bugs? Do ladybugs know they're cute? I think they're too preoccupied with bug things. And so the ladybug crawled around and did bug things. So cute, oh my goodness. The story wasn't really going anywhere. But I know you don't mind. I hope you think it's nice for being there anyway. Like ladybugs. Like this ladybug. The one who clings like a Doofenshmirtz onto your sleeve because it knows you won't squash it. If it doesn't bug you, will you stay a while? Oh, that was good! Oh, that's a good poem. That is such a good poem. That was 10 out of 10. Anyway, like I was saying, spoilers in process now for real, so bugger off if you don't want them. I just have one thing to say. Okay, so last week I covered my thoughts about Monica, right? If you haven't watched that, be sure to, because I'm going to be building on that. Basically, all that I want to say, I was just reminded halfway through that about, you know, after the events of the game, when you're talking with Monica and she said how she was actually she showed that she was really upset after what she did, killing everyone off like that. Also, how could she do that to Sayuri? I understand she was going to a lot and didn't realize that Sayuri wasn't a real person, but still. Point is that, once again, these side stories, they seem like they're building on all the other characters, you know? Like, they're building on Sayuri's character. They'll probably build on Yuri's a bit more, too. Hopefully Natsuki. But, really, Doki Doki is all about Monica, right? She's the main character here. Doki Doki is all about Monica, and it builds on Monica a lot. Especially in the thoughts that we hear, like when you delete her and everything. And this really goes to show that she would probably hated herself for what she did when she deleted everyone, and it really adds on to what she was going through in that time at the end of the game, because she clearly loved Sayuri, right? I mean, that's so obvious just from this picture, just from that picture alone, from that image, and from everything that happened. Monica clearly, actually genuinely cared for Sayuri. There was a time where she didn't realize she was in a game. And I think that's just so interesting, and I love that so much, that it builds on her character like this. And it really goes to show that she did care about everyone in the club and the club itself. It's just that the reality of the situation, as it were, really did get to her, and I think that really shows just how much it affected her when she discovered the truth, whenever that was, which hopefully we'll find out. Hopefully there's a side story about that. I would like to find out how she discovered the truth, you know? Or does it happen in the game? I don't think so, because she's always facing forward, and it's in the Steam, you know, join my club, see me, Monica. Yeah. Point is, yeah, I just love that they're building on this so much. I really appreciate that. Anyway, that's my thoughts for this one. Not much else to say. I discussed most of my thoughts last week and during the video, but that was brilliant. That was satisfaction. That was genuine. I really appreciated that. That was great. Yeah, like I said, I think I expressed most of my thoughts in the video and in last week's Trust Part 1 as well. So I guess that wraps it up. Be sure to tune in later for Understanding Part 1 whenever we do that, though there will be a Satisfaction Saturday, a proper one, next week. And yeah, I'm glad I decided to do these side stories on Saturday. That's definitely a good fill-in for Satisfaction when I don't have a video prepared. So, if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and comment down below. Let me know that you want Satisfaction Saturday to come back. I know you do. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's just been on hiatus is all, you know, COVID hiatus as it is. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. My name has been Senkara. Until next time. See ya.